Hey everybody, welcome to Starcraft Solo 101, Chapter 7, Print Then Cut. Make sure to subscribe to my channel. I'll be putting out tons more videos for the Starcraft Solo. But this one is really fun. Their print and cut is amazing. And I know you guys are going to ask how big it can print and cut. 13.8 inches wide by 72 inches long. So it's really, really long and completely amazing possibilities. So let's take a look at how to use the print and cut feature with the new Starcraft Solo. Before you start print and cut, you are going to need to calibrate the machine. So this is a super important step. Do not skip this step. You will need the test pen from before, from our little cut video, and you'll want to insert that in just like you did the first time. And then they do recommend just clicking that little test button to make sure that it's going to draw onto your paper. Now, I can show you right now that I don't have mine inserted fully. You can see how it didn't draw the full square and circle. So what I'm going to do is loosen up my little screw just a little bit. I'm going to drop my pen down, and then I'm just going to pick it up just a teensy hair. And we're just going to try another test, just to see if we can get it to draw completely. And it did that time. I'll pull it out so you guys can see. That time it drew the square fully. So I'm going to go ahead and put this back in, and we're good. That's just something that you want to do before you do any cuts on this or writing. So the next thing that we're going to do is we are going to take and move the control panel. We're going to take this control panel and we're going to move the test pen. It's over the sheet of paper. We're good there. What we want to do now is go to the speed force button, and we want to make sure that our speed is set to 8 and our force is set to 30. If yours is not, you can just use the little plus and minus buttons to set it correctly. I did this just to test it, so that's why mine's already preset. We want to move the pen an inch or two away from our test square. So we can just use this little dot, this little arrow here, and just kind of scoot it over. We're going to go back to our main screen, so just hit the little back button. And what we're going to do now is click the little set, which is the gear up in the upper left hand, and then the very top option is camera. Select the camera setting. Now you're going to see a blank screen on here, and that is, what you're dealing with. And then we have a few little buttons. We have align, adjust, get a picture. We have the zoom option, and then we also have set, and then some arrows. What we want to do is we're going to use the adjust option. And what you need to do after that is to hold this OK button until your arrows turn red. It should only take a few seconds. Once your arrows are turned red and you have the adjust selected, you're going to press the word start down here in the lower corner. That is going to draw out a grid line, and that is how you're going to line up your image. Now you'll see that you have this image here on your screen. Go ahead and click Get Pick. That's going to take an image of your design on your screen. Now again, because I already did this, mine is really well aligned. But if you didn't do it yet, you'll see there's, and I don't know how well you guys can see it. You can see it okay. There's a little red crosshair. And that little red crosshair needs to be aligned in the center. So what you want to do is take your finger and touch as close to the center as you can get it, and you can use the little arrows to adjust your little red crosshair. It doesn't have to be perfect, it'll adjust for you, but you can get that little red crosshair right in the middle. Then what you're going to do is press OK to get another photo, and now it should be perfectly aligned once it kind of goes through that little loading situation. If it's not aligned for some reason, what you're going to do is you're going to hit the OK button and kind of remove that red thing. And you're going to try again. You'll need to tap the center again and then press OK. Just continue that until it aligns. I only had to do it once. I don't think you're going to have to do that too often. That seems like one of those issues that really isn't going to happen a whole lot. So now that we have this in place, we can just go right back to our home button and we are good. You want to make sure you hit the stop because that's going to turn off your align option. Now we can go over to the Create software to load our print and cut image. Over in your Create software, I'm just going to do a really easy one. We are going to use a super simple image because we're just learning right now, and I'm showing you how to do things, and you'll be able to really move ahead and do a lot once we go through this. So what I'm going to do is go to import. Now you can do this a couple ways. There's an import button here, or you can also go file, import. It's really up to you and what you want to do. So I'm going to go ahead over to my Disney folder because I know I have some print and cut stuff over here that's pretty cute. So I'm just going to find something easy, nothing crazy, and we're just going to choose one of those images. So it may take a moment to load, very similar to CRICUT Design Space. I think print and cut is hard for a lot of systems, so it may take a moment to load. But we're going to go ahead and do Marie. First thing that we're going to do is size her down because she's pretty big. So the first thing that I'm going to do over here is I'm just going to go ahead and change her width to 8 for now, just to get her on the screen. We will resize and change her around as we go. But this is our little Marie, and she's adorable. So excited to use her. But what we are going to do for this image is print and cut it. The first thing that I want to do is in my documents, I'm actually going to change my mat size because I'm printing on an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. Now I'm going to show you really quick. You can do custom size, and you can change it to inches, centimeters, or millimeters. We'll do inches, and we're going to do 8.5 wide by 11 high. Now let's say we want to save this as a preset. We can go ahead and do that, and I'll just call it letter size. Now I already have it, so I'm actually not going to hit OK, but if you didn't have that saved, you can absolutely save whatever size you want. So go ahead and click OK. Now you'll see that my mat has changed size. That's to let me know I have a certain size that I can fit this, and to let me know where it can actually go. Now you're going to want to come over here to your document settings and take a look and see what settings you have as options. The one thing I want to make sure that you guys are aware of is you want to make sure that you're showing print margins and it says show reg marks. That stands for registration marks. This is super important so that you can see that your registration marks are going to fit within your printable area. So I do need to size her down a little bit. But keep in mind, you can set your printable area to whatever size printer you have, and this can do a print and cut from 13.8 inches wide all the way to 72 inches long. So it's really big print size. So we're really opening up the world of print size, but I don't have a wide format printer. So at this point, I'm just going to do the Marie, and I'm just going to do her pretty much as big as I can. But again, you want to make sure that you're noting the size of your paper and where your registration marks are. So you can see my registration marks are these little lines down here in the bottom. Do you see that? So what we'll do is I'm just going to see if I can make her a little bit bigger. I want to hold shift and just pull her out. That's going to keep her proportions the right way and the right size. I think I can go a little bit bigger. I'm actually going to pull these registration marks all the way over to the side here. And then I'm just going to see if I can go just a little bit bigger because I can pull her up a bit too. Let's see how big we can actually make her. It'll also depend on the image that you're using as well. Like this one kind of has a big outline to it, so she may not be able to be quite as big, but she can still be pretty large. So again, you just want to make sure all your registration marks are within that printable area so that it will print. The next thing that you're going to do once you've got her set to the size that you want is you're going to click the word create. Now you'll see here that she's showing kind of down at the bottom. That's okay, but we need to change a couple of things. You want to make sure that you have the right settings here. Now I did cut copy paper earlier and it was way too high of a pressure. So I'm going to turn it down to like 10, maybe 15. We're going to do 15 because what it was set at was way too high for copy paper. So you can change your settings right here in pressure. The next thing is click the words print then cut. Do you see here where it says print then cut? Click right on that. It's going to bring up some reminders for you. So it's going to guide you through the steps. It's going to make sure that if you have not already printed your design, click the print button below. We will print in just a second. And it says you must print using the print button below in order to print your artwork with the required registration marks. Place the printed paper onto the cutting mat and load it into the machine. Click the next button when you're ready to continue and follow the instructions displayed. So here you can kind of just look at all your settings. You can make any changes that you want to. Like right here, you see it has cut lines. That's what you want. We're good to go. The other lines are the pen. You can also do cut, and draw lines. We're not drawing anything, so we want the cut lines. I'm going to click print, send this to my printer, and then I will show you how to load it into the machine, and then we will come back over here and click next. So I printed this out. Now I will say I ran out of copy paper. So this is on some glossy sticker paper, but this will be a really great test to make sure that it works on the glossy. So I'm going to go ahead and put this on to my mat, and I'm just going to line it up. You want to keep it fairly straight, but like it's pretty advanced and it can do a pretty good job, even if it's not 100% straight. So we'll go ahead and make sure that's well down on our mat, and then you need to load it into your machine. So I'll show you guys real quick that. So the machine's pretty large, so it is hard for me to fit it fully into my screen. But what you need to do is slide this on in to your machine. And just like every other time, you want to make sure it's all the way in. Most of your material will be towards the back. And pull up the bar on the back for the wheels. Now, I will say I did not load this real straight, so I'm going to go ahead and fix that really quick. You do want to make sure that you load your mat fairly straight. You can actually use this little bar back here, which is like the safety bar for the blade, to help you make sure you've got this straight. I also will use the front of the machine to make sure it's straight, but you want to make sure you get it in fairly straight. Now that we've gotten that in, we're going to need to go back over to the machine and hit the next button. Because I ran out of copy paper, I am going to go ahead and turn my pressure up to 30. I think that'll cut pretty well on our glossy sticker paper. But like I said, I ran out of copy paper. My bad. So we'll just do this on glossy sticker. It's fine. So we're going to click the word next. And it's going to ask us just a couple things. It's going to kind of give us some reminders. It wants us to position the carriage so that it's over the first printed registration mark at the bottom right of the design. Click Start Scan to start the scan. So I'm going to go ahead and move that little carriage. Now, if you're right next to your machine, you can actually use these arrows. So we'll take you back over to the machine because we need to actually see what we're doing. These arrows are great, but I can't see the machine from where my computer is. So let's go back over there so we can move it. Now, we need to move the blade so that it's over this registration mark. So what you're going to do is use your little arrows, and I'm going to move my mat and my blade around to get it so that it is in the right spot. Now you see how fast that moves? It's a little too quickly. So what I'm going to do is turn the slow mode on, and I'm just going to kind of move that around. I think that looks pretty good. It will adjust a bit on its own when it scans, so we'll hit the Start Scan button over on the computer. Now it's time to hit Start Scan, and it'll scan our registration marks. If it can't read them, it will alarm, and we will have to realign our blade and try again. Now again, mine does beep. I think I'm going to turn the alarm off when it's done cutting. It's super annoying. But I'm going to go ahead and unload my mat. I'm going to turn the fast mode on here. And don't forget, it's important to lift up those roller bars just by pushing down on the lever that is on the back of the machine. So I'll show you guys what it cut out. I've got the light turned down pretty low because we did use a super glossy paper. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is peel this off. Now again, I probably should have test cut because I didn't have any copy paper, but I think it cut pretty well. Yeah, it did. It did the die cut beautifully. Perfect. Okay. That's awesome. So again, you do want to do test cuts, but I didn't, and I should have, but that's okay. It test cut and cut out really, really well. So there is our really nice print and cut. I'm going to get you guys in super close so that you guys can really see how well she cut. Can you see how nice and neat that is around all of her lines, her little tiny whiskers? This is such a superior print and cut product. This is amazing. If you are a sticker maker, I really think this machine is going to be a game changer. So I hope you guys learned some great tips on print and cut. We will definitely be doing a lot more tutorials, deeper in-depth things to show you guys more of the things that you can do with the Starcraft Solo. If you guys have questions, let me know in those comments down below. I'm always happy to answer those for you. Have a great day and happy crafting.